Hello friends, welcome to SQL Server tutorial. In this video, we will learn about workload group and how to create workload group. Actually we learned about workload group in the previous video. In this video, we will directly go to SQL Server and see how to create a workload group and associate that with a resource pool. Alright, now we will go to the demo. So here we are in SQL Server Management Studio. Under Management, Resource Governor, we already have a resource pool, right? We created my resource pool in one of our previous video in this sub-series. Now, if you expand my resource pool, you can see workload groups. So this is where we have to create our new workload group. So right click on this node and choose new workload group. We will create two workload group for our resource pool. And if you look at internal resource pool, you can see there is already a workload group. Likewise, for default, there is a workload group called default. But for my resource pool, we don't have any workload group. Now we will create workload group. We will name it as WL group 01 and we will create WL group 02. So we have two workload group now. So we will leave the importance as medium for our first workload group, and for second workload group we will choose importance as low. So this is actually a relative measure. When compared to these two group, workload group 01 and workload group 02, higher importance is given to workload group 01, and the importance for workload group 02 is lower than the previous one. So here, if you see, we have maximum requests. So this tells how many concurrent requests this workload group can manage. So we can leave it as 0 for both the workload group. That means it can handle unlimited number of parallel requests. But if you want to limit the concurrent request, you can specify a number here. Say for example, if you specify 50 for the workload group 2, then it can handle 50 requests concurrently, and 51st request will wait for the previous 50 requests to finish. I mean, at least one of the requests to finish. So when the request processing is done, the queue length becomes 49 and the waiting one can enter. So likewise, you can restrict how many concurrent requests can be served by the workload group. So here, CPU time, we will specify 25 and 5. This is just a request only. The workload group may ignore it. So here we are making a request that spend 25 seconds of time in fulfilling the request, and for the below one we just specified 5 seconds of CPU quota time. So here we will go ahead with the default of 25 and here we will give 10. So this is actually the relative percentage memory grant. For example, we can take the first one. For workload group 1, we are giving a 25% of memory grant. This means it is relative to other workload group, and it can handle any number of maximum requests. Let's take that there is one request which is taking more CPU time as well as memory. In that case, we are telling that give 25% of memory. So that's the maximum we are allowing, 25% of memory a process or a request in workload group can climb. So that's what here we are saying. But for the low important workload group, we are giving 10% of memory grant only. So let's go ahead with grant timeout in 0 seconds. So the last one is degree of parallelism. So here you can specify how many CPU can be utilized. So it depends on your server and how many CPU cores are available. Based on that, you can specify the number here. For now, let's go ahead with 0. So now we have a resource pool, and resource pool is associated with the two workload group. Workload group 01 is having medium importance, and workload group 02 is having low importance. And when you look at the CPU time, we are giving a higher CPU second for medium and lower one for low profile. Right, likewise you can specify other numbers. That's all here. Now we will click OK. And now if you expand my resource pool, you can see it contains two workload group. Workload group 01 and workload group 02. So in the coming videos, we will assign some users to this workload group based on the classifier function. And these two workload group, if you say, it claims CPU, which was already allocated here, right, in the resource pool. Here we just specified how much percentage of memory can be allocated for workload group. Say we specified 25-30% of memory, and here we specified lesser memory. So those memory will be claimed from this my resource pool. So here we already specified the CPU time slice as well as memory store, right? Both we specified in the my resource pool. So watch our previous video. There we created the custom resource pool by claiming some of the CPU and memory. That's all here in this video. Just now you saw the demo. Thank you for watching. Bye.